am so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it.
The fallout continues because things at The View have gone off the rails, and for good reason.
Commentator said, Whoopi is mansplaining the press secretary job to Karoline Leavitt. Hilarious.
Karoline Leavitt, the bold, unfiltered, and razor-sharp conservative firebrand, just dropped a legal grenade so explosive that ABC executives are in full-blown crisis mode, trying to contain the damage.
Echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political.
And get this, she didn't even have to step foot on The View stage to do it. After yet another disgusting and completely out-of-touch attack from Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin.
About the fact that Democrats have been labeling President Trump a to democracy for the better half of 10 years.
Karoline didn't just clap back, she went nuclear. Now the backlash is so explosive that rumors are swirling behind the scenes.
He sat through a courthouse for 7 weeks this past year, and the Democrats were hoping he would go to jail for it. That is real political that has led to 2 heinous attempts on President Trump's life that, by the grace of God, he was able to escape, and he is here with us today. So yes, President Trump knows a little bit about political because he's experienced it himself.
Sources claim ABC executives are desperate, pleading with Karoline to back down before the situation spirals completely out of control.
Let's talk about how they have compared him to one of the worst mass in the history of the world, and that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden weaponized the court system and the justice system in this country against Donald Trump in an attempt to imprison him.
But let's be real here. This situation is already past the point of no return. So what exactly did Karoline say that sent Whoopi into a complete meltdown? What had Joy Behar shaken and left Sunny Hostin speechless for once in her life?
Joy Behar stunned viewers when she said Donald Trump's press secretary, 27-year-old Karoline Leavitt, only secured her position because of her good look.
Oh, you do not want to miss this. Let's set the scene, because The View thought they could go after Karoline Leavitt and just walk away without consequences. Huge mistake.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The comment was bizarre, especially coming from Joy Behar, who is as woke as they come and positions herself as a champion of feminism.
On a recent episode, the hosts of The View went completely off the rails, launching a vicious, unprovoked attack on Karoline for one simple reason: daring to be a young, successful, conservative woman.
This online commentator said, disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Karoline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10. Karoline Leavitt actually comes with real job qualifications, unlike Biden's DEI hires, Joyless Behar. This commentator doubled down, saying Karoline Leavitt was only hired by Donald Trump because she's a 10. You know that what it is. Actually, she's quite capable, unlike the last press secretary who was only hired because she was a black lady.
They didn't just question her credentials, they tried to discredit her entirely. Joy Behar, with her signature smugness and condescending tone, dismissed Karoline's intelligence, experience, and political expertise as if none of it mattered.
Like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day. And that's why today in 2024, President Trump is more popular than he has been since 2016, because people don't trust the media.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it, and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. because black people couldn't get into colleges.
Rather than cowering in the face of the predictable elitists.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Nope. According to Joy, the only reason Karoline has a career is because she's a 10 in Trump's eyes. Then came Whoopi Goldberg, who, as usual, tossed logic out the window in favor of a heated rant. She actually claimed that without wokeness, Karoline wouldn't even have a job. The hypocrisy is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the View hosts kept digging themselves deeper. But Karoline wasn't about to sit back and take it. She had the perfect response, and it hit them where it hurt the most. Oh, you already know, Whoopi just had to make it about race. But Karoline, she wasn't having any of it. Instead of brushing off the nonsense, she went in for the kill. Karoline didn't just clap back, she completely annihilated them. She took every single insult they threw at her and turned it back on them tenfold. In a now viral, scorched earth response, Karoline exposed The View for exactly what they are. A panel of bitter, out-of-touch elitists who pretend to support women, but only if those women agree with them. And she did not hold back. Joy Behar is the perfect example of modern feminism. They preach about empowering women while tearing down any woman who doesn't fit their narrative. Disgusting. Then, she set her sights on Whoopi. Whoopi says I wouldn't have a job without wokeness. That's hilarious, considering The View's entire panel is made up of unqualified DEI hires. And she wasn't done yet. She called out Sunny Hostin with the most brutal line of them all. And Sunny Hostin, of all people, wants to talk about privilege? Give me a break. Then, Karoline dropped the hammer. The View doesn't want strong women. They want obedient women. Within minutes, Karoline's video exploded across the internet. #cancel The View and #Karoline Leavitt The View were trending worldwide. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it was everywhere. And that's when things took a turn for the worse. For The View, they never saw this coming. They thought they could mock Karoline, brush her off, and move on like nothing happened. Instead, they handed her the biggest PR victory of her career on a silver platter. Now, ABC executives are scrambling in full-blown damage control mode. According to leaked reports, producers are furious that this has spiraled into a full-fledged PR crisis. And now, the rumors are flying. Some ABC executives are questioning whether Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg are now more of a liability than an asset. Sponsors are backing away, terrified of being associated with The View's toxic image. ABC is scrambling behind the scenes, allegedly begging Karoline to drop the lawsuit before things get even worse. But here's the real kicker. Even The View's own audience is starting to turn against them. One viral comment sums it all up perfectly. The View preaches empowerment but mocks any woman who doesn't fit their agenda. Karoline Leavitt just exposed them for the frauds they are. And just when you thought this couldn't possibly get worse, it does. At this point, the writing is on the wall. For years, The View has been playing with fire, but this time, they may have finally burned themselves beyond repair. The backlash is spiraling out of control. The hypocrisy is undeniable. And now, ABC is facing a very real decision. Do they double down, or do they finally clean house? Clean house, or cancel the show entirely. Because let's be real here, The View thrives on controversy. But when the backlash outweighs the ratings boost, the game is over. And right now, they're dangling by a thread. The damage control isn't working, the sponsors are pulling out, and ABC is running out of options. Could this finally be the moment that takes down The View for good? Are we watching the beginning of the end for daytime TV's most controversial show? Alright folks, now it's your turn. Did The View finally go too far this time? Was Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit the wake-up call the media desperately needed? And do you think ABC will actually pull the plug on The View after this disaster of epic proportions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss any breaking updates as this chaos unfolds. Trust me, this isn't over. Stay tuned.